Hey, everybody. It's Dawn and
Mindy.
And we are two girls
and their alcohol.
What are we drinking tonight?
It's Absolute grapefruit.
Oh, thanks, Min.
Paloma.
Got it
Paloma.
my eye.
Wait, I can't. Is it Paloma?
They're good,
Paloma.
right?
Yes, they are good.
So we always drink Schwetka. So now I'm like, let's switch it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like the grapefruit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's a nice summer drink, spring drink. It's good. Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
A little sip.
It is good. I like the grapefruit.
Now, I actually like the pineapple martini also, but you didn't like that.
No, I like the grapefruit.
It's a little
better.
sweet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these are refreshing.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, we are so excited about the next two guests. This is great. So we have on the next guest is a producer, an author, right? Mm-hmm. Even a candle maker.
I know. Right?
I read all about that. So cool, candle maker. And he is the guitarist in the Bret Michaels band, Pete Evick. And it doesn't end there. We also have Gavin Evick on, who's Pete Evick's son. And his song, it's called Favorite Song. It's beautiful. I listened to it. So pretty. So I'm so excited to have the father and son duo. So let's bring them out. Pete and Gavin Evick.
You rolling? What's up, guys?
Hey!
How are you?
Hi, guys. Hi, Gavin.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm Dawn, and that's Mindy.
Hi.
Hi. And we're two girls and our alcohol.
We were watching.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
The intro was great.
Did you see me waving?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, God. That guy took my hair rollers out before. I had them in earlier. The Velcro. Anyway, we're so excited to have you on. Thank you again. I know you're both busy. I see you're both busy. And so let's start off. Producer, author, candle maker, guitarist, everything. And Gavin, both of you. Tell us all about it, how it started.
How it started, which part of it started.
I know, right? It never ended. It keeps going.
Yeah. It's for me, how it started, I was 5 years old. My mom put the guitar in my hand, and she used to go see Elvis perform before Elvis was actually famous.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Basically, have you ever gone to follow a band in the clubs before they got big? That my mom did that with Elvis. And she was really wanted me to be in the music business before I wanted to. I wanted nothing to do with it for the first year and a half. And then sometime around the time I was 6, almost 7, I saw Kiss on TV, and then I understood. And then I was hooked ever since then. So yeah, I see the Dynasty poster, 1978, or 1979. That actually, it's funny. I tell my story about being so into Kiss. It was a TV commercial for that tour, actually, that really, really hooked me. I remember the costumes and everything, and they used to run TV commercials for. So it was 1978, right into 79, because Love Gun came out in 78 and Dynasty came out in 79. I'm a Kiss fanatic. I know all this stuff like this. And I was a kid, and the commercial came on. And I couldn't stand it. I loved it so much that I went in my room and grabbed the guitar that my mom had bought me. And finally, I wanted to be Kiss. Finally,
look at you.
Yeah. I'm not quite Kiss yet, but Ace is my friend. Yeah. So that's how that started. The writing the book actually started becoming an author started because me and Gavin's mother actually broke up about 12 years ago, and I was devastated about, how do I say it? I still don't necessarily believe in divorce, but I was frightened I just was frightened about being a single dad and trying to make sure that I still had my children in my life and didn't fall into some of the holes that happen when a relationship breaks up as far as parenting goes. And so then I kicked it into overgear and did everything I could. And Gavin's here. He can actually confirm these stories now. I'm so used to telling them by myself, but me and his mother worked a situation out where I actually had 50-50 joint custody of Gavin and Jacob, his brother. And so basically, if I was not on tour, I did have the children. So if I was home, I was a full-time single dad, and I kicked it in overdrive. And for several years, it was just us. Like if I was home, there was no going out to bars with my friends. There was no hanging out with anyone else. If I was home, it was just me and the two boys. I'm pretty accurate, right?
Yeah.
And so as I learned to be the best single dad that I could possibly be, I felt like I could write a book that would be inspiring to other single parents on how to do that. But as I started writing the book, the publisher came to me, and the book's called The Moments That Make Us. And the publisher came to me and said, this has turned into something more than a inspirational book about parenthood. It's about life, and encompasses a much bigger picture. And so the original title of my first book was called People Are Resilient, or Kids Are Resilient, but What About the Adults They Become? And that title came because when me and Gavin's mother first broke up, I would spend hours on the phone with people, just anyone that would listen to me, and I would be panicking about I would just panic about how this was going to work. And every fucking person, whether it was, some of my, A-list rock star level friends to my neighbor, every single one of them would say, "Oh, kids are resilient. They'll be okay." And I just got so fucking tired of hearing that.
Yeah.
Because you do think the kids are okay because they are resilient. They're not resilient. What they're doing is they're in tune with the pain the parents are already feeling and don't want to put any more pressure on their parents. So they never going to come to you and go, "Oh, this fucking sucks." You know what I mean? So I started reflecting in all my adult friends I knew that were from divorced families, and every fucking one of them's fucked up. Everyone I know is fucked up for some reason or another. And so I got mad and I wrote the book, Kids Are Resilient, but What About the Adults They Become? And the title was too long. And again, as I started writing it, she was like, "This is about way more than that." So it became The Moments That Make Us, and it became more of a inspirational book about just being the best person you can be and taking the moments in your life that create you and recognize them and cherishing them. I actually, just before we signed on, I'm right down to the last 2 pages of my brand new book that's coming out next month, I think. If not next month, the month after. I was literally right before I signed on was just reading the last 2 pages of it to make sure that it's all edited correctly and everything.
What's the name of it? Can you give us a title?
You know what? I will tell you what I think we're going to call it. I'm
hot off the press.
I'm working with a co-writer who's written tons of books. He's writing a book for one of the guys in the Village People. He's written a book with people from Vixen and all kinds of people. And his name is Steve Olivis. And we didn't write a title when we wrote the book. I just started talking and telling the stories, and he kept using the term MTV famous, referring to my teenage years and how I wanted to be MTV famous. And I have this big thing about wanting to be famous for the sake of being famous is awful. Like that disgusts me. So sometimes I hear the word famous and I would never use that term in my own mind. I believe that fame is due to fame for people who do something really well. But if you're just doing something to try to be famous, I that disgusts me. So he kept using this term MTV famous, and it was so out of what I would say about myself. But as I kept reading it, I kept understanding what he was trying to say about me was that I was trying to be what my heroes on MTV were. And the point of that was when I was a kid and I was watching MTV, I didn't know whether David Lee Roth was the poorest guy in California or the richest guy on the planet. And I didn't care. All I knew is that he was saying something that spoke to me and meant something to me, and I wanted the same thing. I'd never once thought about the money. I never once thought about the women or the drugs, and none of that stuff ever crossed my mind. I just wanted to write a song and have a video that made other people feel the way that stuff made me feel. And so we've coined the term MTV famous, and we think we might just call the book that, MTV famous.
Okay, well that's good. Hot off the press, MTV.
Yeah, you were absolutely first person, Gavin.
I love it. Well,
that came out of my mouth for the first time right now.
MTV famous.
That's a good title.
I love it. I want my MTV. I have to say something. You are honestly one of the nicest guys I met, and I go on your Instagram, and you write beautifully, Pete, and you're so humble, and I like that because, well, obviously we're not famous and we're rich, but we do it to have fun. We're doing a podcast. We meet so many cool people like you and Gavin. So thanks again for coming on. But I read your Instagram. You write. Was it somebody's birthday recently?
Well, Brett's birthday was the other day.
Oh, you wrote something about, maybe it was a family member, but you write so beautifully.
That's very
and so humble. So that also caught a spark for us too. And then Mindy's met you how many times?
Oh, the meet and greets with Brett Michaels that we always do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
Where at? Which venues?
Huh?
Which venues?
Penn's Peak, Xfinity Live. We did the meet and greet.
Oh, do you live in Pennsylvania or you live in Boston?
We're in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia.
Xfinity Live is Boston, right?
No, it's Philadelphia.
Yeah,
There's
there's one
Xfinity Live.
Oh, yeah. It was. We've only played that place one time, right?
Yes. In May, 7
Oh,
years
you mean just recently, the casino, right?
No, it's Xfinity Live where the stadiums are, like where the Phillies play, the 76ers, the Eagles, that area.
But isn't that connected to a casino, the venue?
It is, but the Live is also owned by that, but it's down further. And that
that was a great venue. That was a cool place. Yeah.
outside you played. Or,
It was
Cool.
outside you played.
Yeah. Oh, we played outside there?
Yeah, it was about 8 years ago. And
that's not what I'm thinking of then. I don't know. Why can't I remember that?
And I met you at 89 North not that long ago.
Yeah, with our acoustic show, me and Chad.
Everybody's coleslaw. I went around and Danny Stant was there. I'm like, can I have your coleslaw? And Pete, do you want your coleslaw? I went around collecting. I love coleslaw, so I'm eating all the.
Yeah, you can always have my coleslaw without a doubt.
See how nice he is?
Yeah, but it's funny you mentioned Danny, man. Danny's like one of my best friends. He's a brother. He's an amazing human being, and there's a lot of people in the music industry that would not be who or where they are without that guy. There's very rare that a guy, especially as long as he's been in the business, that still is willing to give his shirt off his back to help other people. Right? That guy's a wonderful dude.
He actually really nice too. I was telling you, I hung out with him. Super nice. Also humble, like just kind of like chilled at the place in Long Island. Super nice guys.
And a giant Kiss fan, bigger than me.
Yeah. Is that possible?
It is. I actually make fun of Danny about his Kiss fanism. I'm jealous because I think I'm the biggest Kiss fan in the world, and I'm not. He is, but he's at a level that I can't even comprehend.
Wow, you're at a level too. Now let's talk about. So, for everybody tuning in, we have Pete Evick and Gavin Evick. Pete Evick is from the Brett Michaels band, and he does a lot of other things too. Now, Gavin, hi, Gavin.
Hi.
Go on a little bit about Gavin. So, your favorite song is "Beautiful." I listened to it a few times.
Thank you.
I started to choke up a little bit because it's like a not sad. It's beautiful, but it kind of is a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like touching, right?
Right. It's the opposite of most 80s power ballads that talk about heartbreak and why love sucks and this, that. I didn't want to write a sad song, but I wanted to write a ballad.
That's what a ballad. Yes, it's so pretty.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll go back to Pete. Tell us a little bit how you got started in the music industry.
Well, I mean, I don't have a 10-minute monologue about my book, so it's hard to. I don't have an interesting story like him. I really just grew up in the industry. I grew up with a rock star dad. I just grew up in the world of knowing and meeting a lot of these A-list rock star people as my dad's friends more so than knowing their music.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my whole life, I've kind of rejected, the music side of it up until about 3-4 years ago. because, you know, everywhere I would go, everybody would always kind of ask me, hey, are you going to follow your dad's footsteps? And I kind of want to just be my own person and do something else.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I kind of got tired of it. And there's two sides to it. One, I wanted to kind of prove myself that I could be my own Evick. And two, I really, really fell in love with rock and roll and the way it makes me feel. And there's not a whole lot of people in my generation that understand the feeling that, you know, rock and roll music gives me. And I just wanted to be able to share that with people, you know, and modernize it. So my friends and everybody in my generation could listen to it. That's kind of how I got my start.
That's the other reason why I was so happy to have both of you on, because obviously we know your dad, we know Pete Evick, but then I watched you and seeing you're so young and you're so energized about it. And I love that because we come from the 80s era and you're young. So it's nice to have a young generation that likes rock and roll. You know, that's cool, you know, because we love it. And a lot of people your age don't really get into it. So when I saw you, I'm like, we definitely have to have them both on because he's a rocker. He's a young rocker. And I love that. I love your energy. That's good.
Thank you. Yeah, I fell in love with rock and roll probably 5 years ago, and it's been a drug. Like it just gives me this high that, you know, there's that Bon Jovi line, I don't need a needle to give me a thrill. Rock and roll is my needle to give me a thrill.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's flip back to Pete, to Dad again. So now we talked about your journey in the music. Now tell us about your candle company, because we love candles and how it blossomed. I read a lot about it. It's very interesting about your candle company called the Shining Soul Candle Company. So tell us about that.
We're actually right here in one of our stores right now.
Do you have any candles? What kind of candle do you have there?
Yeah, we have everything. You know,
Thank you.
I talk a lot, and I know we only have 30 minutes, so I'll try to make it quick.
It's up to you, whatever you want to do, really. You're the boss.
I was super, for the first time in my life, I really became burnt out on the music industry after season 3 of Rock of Love.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if it was the music industry more than it was just those cameras following us around all the time that turned me into someone different. I became, I had a different level of anxiety. I had a different level of paranoia. I was out there to play music. And 20 some years of my life, I've been playing music. And all of a sudden, even though I was playing music, there was television cameras on us all the time. And you get really paranoid because those reality TV show guys, where I love them, a lot of those producers are friends of mine, but at the end of the day, they're trying to make a hit TV show, and a hit TV show means drama. So anything you say or do could turn into like the biggest reality moment of the year. And it's usually about negative stuff. So I wanted to make while we were filming that last season, it's hard for me to explain. I ended up basically going completely silent because I didn't want to say anything on the camera that might turn into that big dramatic moment.
Oh, yeah.
They'll take anything you say and twist it to try to
twist it around. Yeah.
Right. And in fact, they did that. It did happen to me during Life as I Know It, which was the season after Rock of Love, where Brett, the show was more like Gene Simmons and Family Jewels, or the Dee Snider show. It was about him and his family and trying to work things out with his baby's mama. And he was having this big conversation with me and his father about getting married and why he's afraid of getting married. And he was talking to me and his father because both of us had been divorced, and he was trying to get a divorcee perspective. And it was a real conversation that we were having with the cameras were on. And I had said all these things wonderful about Gavin's mother. I must have gone on for 5 to 10 minutes about the marriage, and while it was great, it was great, and all this stuff. And then I segue into this segment where I talk about she changed and I changed, and if we had met each other today, I probably wouldn't marry her. The only thing they took from that was that one line. I probably wouldn't marry her again.
Par for course. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
With no, and it
They ran with it, right?
It made me a dick. My phone, when that aired, my family, her family, our friends, everybody. I was for a couple days until everyone calmed down and let me explain myself. I was like the biggest asshole that ever was on the planet. And that's what those shows will do. They have no respect for you because they're just trying to have a hit show. And those hit reality shows only come with the drama moments, you know. And so my point to that was during Rock of Love Bus, I retreated inside myself because I just didn't even want a word on camera. I didn't want any part of it. And so then by the time the tour and the show was over and I went home, I was just burnt out. I didn't even want to look at my guitar. First time I'd ever felt that in my life, because from 5 years old on, guitar was all there was to me. There was nothing else.
Right.
And so I was sitting at the house, and Gavin's mother had moved out, and the kids weren't there that night. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had this candle burning, and I just thought, I've never had another hobby in my life. I've never done anything else in my life. I wonder if I could make a candle. It was supposed to smell like a wood burning fireplace, and it didn't. And I remember going, I wonder if I could make a better candle than that. And then I'd been home for a few days. I don't think I'd showered or done anything. And I went to Michael's, the craft store. Yeah. I remember walking in there and looking around, and there was all these, upper middle class mothers buying their kids supplies for their art, whatever it was, and I looked like the devil walking into their little craft store, and you could tell like the seas parted as I walked by, like, what is this guy doing in here? And I asked the woman if there was a candle making supply section, and she looked at me. I might as well said, I would like to go kill your mother. The same thing. And she pointed me in a direction, and then I came home and I became obsessed with the process. And during the process, I learned that I just learned some things about the products it takes to make the candles that I make are American-made products that come from the heartland of the country out in the Midwest. The soybeans and everything come from those places. And our brand of rock and roll is huge in the Midwest, in Indiana, Iowa, and Wisconsin, all that place. And I'd grown to meet and know some of those farmers myself. And I knew their struggles, and I would talk to them about what it took to be. I mean, John Cougar Mellencamp's been doing Farm Aid since 1986, right? So it's been since 1986 that there's been awareness that the American farming industry is in trouble, right? And that's always stuck with me because I'm a big Mellencamp fan. And so all of a sudden, I had a means, even if I sold 5 candles, the products I had bought to make those 5 candles had helped a farmer. And that was important to me. It was gigantic. And then I started realizing that neither of my kids were going to probably go to college. They have too much of me in them. It doesn't interest them. You're right. And so I thought, let me start an online business selling candles and at least let my kids get an education of entrepreneurism and what kind of things you may be able to do if you don't follow the college route.
By the time you're so busy. Like, how do you have time with the candle? So everybody tuning in, we have Pete Evick on, and he is a candle maker.
And
can you show us around your store a little bit? Can you hold the candle up to show everybody?
To be honest with you, I'm afraid the whole rig I have holding up is going to fall apart if I try to do that. I'm so sorry. I got it all stacked up on these boxes so it could be the right level for, the angle so that you don't get the shooting up at the double chin, So,
we know all about that.
But so then from there, we did an online business for a few years, and then we opened up our first store in our hometown of Manassas, and then we opened up a second store in Myrtle Beach and a third store in Rehoboth, Delaware, which, and then that's it. That's enough stores. Everyone keeps asking if there's going to be another one. The answer to that is no. It's like you have your first kid and it's a certain amount of work, and then you have your second kid and it's double the work, but then you have your third kid and it's like not triple the work. It's like 10 times the work all of a sudden for some reason. And that's what the third store, the weight of it all is too much, and probably because it's in 3 different states, and I probably did that all wrong. I probably shouldn't have put 3 stores in 3 different states, but 3 is enough. I'm more concerned about growing the online business and making the product available in that way. The brick and mortar stores, it's cool because everybody can have an online business in their house. Anyone can, and more power to them. Amazon started in the garage, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But you get a sense of legitimacy to your customers if you actually have a real brick and mortar store. It says you're not just a hobbyist trying something. The brick and mortar give us a certain level of credibility that I didn't have until we had the brick and mortar. But my goal is still more of the online business, because the online business is worldwide. It's not just customers in each town I have a store in.
Right,
So
right.
I can reach more people and hopefully get my brand candle into, one day every house in the country.
Well, you know what? You should come to Philly because I live in Center City, Philadelphia, and we need a new candle store.
Are you going to run it for us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
looking for a new job. I'm getting ready to quit my job.
You and Bay can run my candle store, all right?
Oh my God, can you imagine?
2 girls.
Two girls are alcohol and a candle.
Nice.
There you go, Pete. 2 girls, they're alcohol and candles.
You got to keep that alcohol in there, don't you?
We're on to something. Well,
Girls are candles.
2 girls and their candles. They'll be like, what? But 2 girls are alcohol in the candles. There you go.
Right.
Wine and candles.
Wine and candles. There you go.
We have a program called Wicks and Sips that
We need to get over.
you know how they do the paint parties where people do painting. We have a whole program called Wicks and Sips where people we let them make their own candles and drink wine at the same time.
We need to come there.
You'd be
Why are we
perfect
not
for that.
there?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Where is that located?
That we do that in Manassas, all over Virginia.
Oh, okay. That's what. Well, you're from Virginia, right?
Yeah, but we do this, like, you can call the person that does that for me, and they'll come to you. They'll set the parties up in your house or they'll find a local venue like a bar or a brewery, and then you guys can have a party. You throw the party and they bring all the stuff and do it there.
We're right up their alley.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you should do it. What do you got, a Brett Michaels shirt on there?
I do.
I see it. I
don't know what to wear. I'm like, I'll just wear. I need a Pete Evick shirt.
Or a Gavin Evick shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin, you talk too much. Stop.
I don't have any input on the candle industry.
Can't you go get a candle and hold it up?
If you want, I could go get you.
Please get me a candle. I want to see it.
Just get anything. Just grab anything.
And tell me the flavor you're grabbing.
The scent?
I mean, the scent, the flavor. You know what I mean.
There's this one.
Wow.
Nice.
Orange vanilla.
Oh, he changed the name.
Yeah,
Orange vanilla.
It's like a dreamsicle. You remember the cream?
Oh my God. Yeah, I used to eat them.
Yeah, that's exactly what it smells like.
Oh wow, it probably smells good.
Remember them from the beach?
Yeah.
You know what? Show them this. So this is, just so you know, this is Mermaid Cove, which is our best selling product for the last 7-8 years. And the innovation in this, something that if you really do the history, we were the first, if not one of the first, but we can't find it done before we did it. If you look, there's these wax embellishments on top.
Yeah, man.
That's
So
cool.
That's cool.
So there's glitter, and
love it.
then there's a mermaid tail and some seashells and stuff like that. And so we have a handful of products that are like that. But there was a partner in the company. Her name was Sarah Rodriguez, who isn't really much part of the company anymore, but she invented that, and it's like our best seller.
Yeah. We're all about the glitter. I love that. I never
Yeah.
saw I like glitter. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's cool. Well, you have a lot going on. Candle making, playing in the bands. What else?
Multiple bands.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Tell us about the other bands. That's right. Multiple bands.
Well, I have the Brett Michaels band,
Right.
which is always the first one is priority, and then I have my own band, Evick, that I've had for 30 years, and then I do a band called This, That, and the Other, which is me and Eric Brittingham from Cinderella, and Chad Stewart from Faster Pussycat, and a guy named Dean Kramer who played in Funny Money, which was Kix's lead singer's other band.
Yes.
Whiteman's other band. And so we have that band together. And then I play acoustic gigs with my drummer, Chuck, all the time locally. And then I play acoustic gigs all over the country with Chad from Faster Pussycat, which was what you saw that night.
Now, can I ask you a question? Do you sleep?
No.
I sleep when out of exhaustion. Like
what do
I
you
will
not
eventually-
do?
I eventually
Actually, I
pass
love your chemistry with Chad. You have very good chemistry. I watched the whole show, you know, at the in Long Island, and I love the chemistry.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And
we didn't know how that was going to go. We've known each other for 20 some years and we never performed before and we never rehearsed.
yeah.
He lives in California and I live in Washington, D.C. And we just said, hey, do you want to do this? We wrote out a bunch of songs and we met in Myrtle Beach and did our first gig. And we had no idea whether it was going to work or not. And more so than the music, the people liked just me and him being there, you know. The way we talk to each other and that banter. And so I thought it was special. I'm glad you recognized that.
Yeah, I actually told Mindy that. I said, Mindy was under the weather. She couldn't make it. So I went and I said, you know what? The chemistry, I told you how like those. So I didn't know like if you performed together before. I didn't know. So the chemistry was definitely on spot. It was good. And he's a nice guy too, Chad. I like him.
Yeah, we can't wait to do it again. The next time me and Chad are doing something together is we are performing at the M3 pre-party. Do you know the M3 festival in Maryland?
Oh,
yes, because
Two Girls and Alcohol will be there.
Oh, yeah. So they're going to announce next week because it's only Saturday and Sunday this year, the thing. So Friday night, they're going to do a pre-party event that me and Chad are performing at.
Oh, that's cool.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
We're going Monday. We're going Friday to Monday.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you there then.
We're going to take our microphones and interview people. We already told asked Eric Baker.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So you're going to be there? I'm so excited, really.
Yeah. You know, I'm only going to be there Friday because then we have a gig in Ohio the next day and then Indiana the day after that. So it'll only be the Friday night pre-party. But
well, we're going to check you out.
All right.
Playing the Friday night.
Rat
Rod will be playing.
Where's that?
Rat Rod will be playing also.
They're from here, from Philly.
From Philly.
Oh, on Friday?
Yes. Pre-show.
Oh, so you can't make it to my show.
Is it a different place?
Why? Is it a different bar?
Well, so you're talking about, they're playing at the M3 thing.
Yeah.
So I think there's two pre-parties. There's the official M3 pre-party, and then there's some unofficial one. And apparently the unofficial one's super popular. And I don't know who, as far as I know, I didn't know anyone else was playing with us. Where are they playing at? Do you know what it's called? What venue?
I can't look it up.
I don't know. M3 Rock
Festival. Can you look it up on your phone?
I don't know enough about the information yet. They're supposed to get it to me this week, so we'll see.
I'll have to text it. Can I text it to you?
Yeah, please.
Okay, yeah. But we'll definitely be there, and we're going to definitely check out your pre-show. We're
Awesome.
going to be all around. I love M3 Rock Festival. It's a good time.
It is. It's funny that it's in Maryland. Because in the tri-state area where we live, which is Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware, the 80s hard rock thing is not nearly as big as it is in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
And so I was surprised when they gave it a shot. What, 15 years ago? How long have they been doing it now?
This is their 14th year.
14th year. And I remember to be honest with you, I remember thinking that will never work. That Meriwether Post Pavilion, when I was growing up, I saw Poison there. I saw Van Halen there. I saw David Lee Roth without Van Halen there. I saw a bunch of Cinderella, all kinds of bands there. And it's neat what it's turned into. It's a way of life. It's a cultural thing that people come all over now to come to Meriwether Post Pavilion for M3. It blows my mind what it's turned into.
You know what I love? What I love about it, I was telling Eric Baker, it's very laid back venue. No security breathing down your neck. And we like to stay at the hotel, obviously, where the bands are, because it's so chill. And, when you go to the larger shows, they have a lot of security, throwing you out or throwing you back. And it's a very laid back venue. And that's why I like it. You can hang out with, Pete Evick or Slaughter, or because you're not getting thrown out, or, security's not on you all the time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a cool place without a doubt.
Yeah.
Although when I was a kid, I got thrown out for trying to sing backstage at Van Halen.
We've been thrown out of places too over the 80s years.
Yeah.
You get
So,
it.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I feel like today's like a different time with music. Like back in the day, feel like anything went. Today they're very strict with things.
As
Do you
far
agree?
as what?
Anything.
Like you mean at concerts or whatever?
I feel like, yeah. And yeah, do you? I feel like it's so different now. You know what killed everything? Social media and pictures. That's what killed it all.
Everybody's holding their phone.
So it's funny. Gavin is
Yeah.
so anti-social media. I keep telling him that it has to rule his.
I know he has 3 pictures on his Instagram. Gavin.
Right. Tell him.
It's stupid.
Gavin, we need more pictures.
He wants to do it the old school way, and I don't know that the old school way exists anymore. But yeah, the social media thing is you know, it has made a lot of things change. And as a performer, when I play my own shows, my Evick shows or my acoustic shows,
Yeah.
if I catch someone Facebook living, I will stop in the middle of the song and ask them not to. I've gone so much as stepped off the stage, grabbed a phone from someone, and turned it on them while I was singing, and Facebook Live them, because maybe for a minute, maybe showing someone, maybe if someone's sick at home and couldn't make it and you want to show them. But when you got someone down in the front row and you're performing, for instance, this weekend, me and Brett played at Niagara Falls in Canada, and it was 5,200 people venue, and a third of them are just sitting there Facebook living, watching the whole show. And it's like, it's distracting for us as an artist, because the intimacy of that moment's what it's supposed to be all about. We're supposed to be there together. And those fucking people couldn't even get off their ass to come get off their couch and come watch the show or buy the ticket. This is how we make our living. You know what I mean? I 100% disagree with anyone that streams the live shows in an unprofessional manner. It makes me.
A lot of times they turn the live stream off.
Oh, that's true.
A lot of times they turn it off. Like, you can't get on there. They'll turn off like the internet and everything, so you can't even get on.
Where's that at?
Like in general,
in Atlantic City, New Jersey, they turn off. Can't get on live.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They got the power.
I love them.
Oh, speaking of, I thought this was so cool. You were in Niagara Falls. The same time I read about it, I saw that Gavin was in Virginia. You guys performed the same time. That was so cool, right?
We both went on at 8:00 in different countries.
Isn't that so cool? Mm-hmm. I was like, oh my God, that's so cool.
It's hard though, because I've had to miss. He's had 3 shows, and I've had to miss 2 of them because I have to play myself, and it's a disaster of emotions because I want to be there. You know,
why are we together?
We did the first show. We did, but I also, you got to be careful with that, because I instantly got, how do I say it? There was instantly a little bit of, so now that your son's playing, I guess he's going to open up for you all the time. And I got a little backlash from some of the friends of mine that I usually let open up for me, that thought that opportunity might be gone now. You know what I mean?
I didn't think of it that way. I didn't even think of it that way. I don't know.
What is that?
I did not think of it that way. I just thought it'd be cool to see you guys play together.
Yeah. So I don't want anyone hating on him because they think that he's getting the special treatment, being that it's his 3rd gig ever, 4th gig ever. And all of a sudden he's opening up for Bret Michaels in front of, 20,000 people. But the day will come. The day will come.
Yeah. Gavin, you're doing great. Like I said, I love your song. You have a great look to you. He's adorable, right? He's so cute. And
his mini me.
Yeah, his mini me. I know he is. Now you have another son.
Jacob.
Industry or no?
What?
Is your other son in the music industry?
Not at all. He wants nothing to do with it.
See?
No. Yeah. But then again, Gavin didn't want anything to do with it until just a few years ago. So Jacob has expressed a few times that he might want to play the drums, and I think that would be great for him. He has a lot of pent up. He's very aggressive. He's much more aggressive human being than Gavin. So the drums might be his thing. I've thought recently about just getting him a set and putting it in the house and see what he does. That's
cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'm so glad you guys came on, because, like I said, we were so excited, right? Having the father go on.
Awesome.
So about merchandise, what platform on social media we can get merchandise, shirts, candles, whatever it is, tell everybody.
Well, I sell my merchandise exclusively at my shows, so you got to come out to a show to buy merchandise.
I love that. You're old school. I love that about you. See that? He's nice
That's not very entrepreneurial.
Well, there's more tickets, and you get to sell more merch than the headlining band that way.
I hear what he's so proud of that. Yeah, so you got to buy Gavin's merch. Actually, that's not true. We kicked off your shirt sales.
One drop.
We did an exclusive limited edition shirts online with him, but with me, the candles are shiningsoul.com.
Okay.
And then merch wise, I do limited edition merch stuff oftentimes, just on my site, evick.com. And then my book, my first book, you can get at amazon.com. The second one will be at amazon.com too.
I actually got to sell your merch for you at 89 North.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We had the candles there and the shirts and the stuff. And Chad's the merch king. He has all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, Chad had a lot of stuff. So what happened was I went to 89 North, and I don't even know how it happened, but Danny Stanton and Bob's like, "Do you want to sell their merch?" I said, "Sure." For who? Everybody. Yeah. So it was Pete Evick, Chad, and then it was also
Ted Foley. Danger.
That was fun though. I had a good time.
That was great too. It was like I was surprised. I don't want to say that the show wasn't super great, but I was surprised at how the weather impacted everyone up there. I didn't think that it affected people in New York like that. Down here, if we see a flake of snow, no one comes out of their house. But I didn't expect it up there. But like apparently they were calling for some terrible, terrible weather. I don't know that the weather ever got as bad as they said it was, but it certainly scared some people.
It was a little heavy rains. So now people are with the rain. That, So unfortunately, because we don't get a lot of snow, now rain scares people.
Yeah.
Right. The world's gone completely soft. When we were kids, you went to school in the snowstorm. Now they call it off 3 days before the snowstorm even comes.
Right. For like an inch. We don't have any snow, have we?
No.
We had no snow, but like if there's like wind up, we're gonna call school off for wind. It's so weird.
It's weird, right? That kind of stuff is crazy.
It's crazy. All right. So any upcoming shows? I know Pete probably has a ton of it. Upcoming shows you want to talk about? Tell everybody.
Well, so to me, like I told you, we're doing my band, This, That, and the Other with Brittingham from Cinderella and Chad from Faster Pussycat and Dean Kramer. We're actually doing our first debut full-on electric rock show on April 7th here in Manassas, Virginia. And it's the very first time we're playing all four of us together as a full-on loud rock band, no acoustic. And I'm super stoked and proud about it. So if anyone out there is hearing this that lives in that area and could come,
get out there.
It's been a long time since I've debuted something brand new. There's a little bit of nervousness to me to literally start a brand new band. So that I would love to promote that. And, to be honest with you, the Bret Michaels Summer Tour, the Party Girl Tour, it's us and Night Ranger and Jefferson Starship. And we're doing PNC, which is up by you guys, right?
New York, because my birthday is near there. I think it's July. My birthday is July 18th, and I think it's the 17th or something. I forget when it is, but I'm gonna go because Tommy London's supposed to jump up on stage. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah. So and there's two shows. There's a Jersey show and a Philly show.
Yes.
But it's the Party Girl Tour. It's a very unique thing that Bret has designed.
I can't wait.
With Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray and Steve Ajari from Journey will be joining us in our set, not opening for us, but literally come out and perform those songs with us. Some of the Sugar Ray songs and some of the Journey songs, plus all the Bret songs. So that's giant. That's a big giant.
That's gonna be great. That's gonna be so great. What a great summer that's gonna be.
Yeah. So I would, and we're all over the country. There's 12 different markets we're in. So wherever your guys' listeners are from, the Bret Michaels Party Girl Tour is going to be the funnest show of the summer. And I'd like to personally invite all you guys out.
Let's all go to Party Girl. I can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, but do you have another show on the books? You do.
Yeah, May 13th. My 4th show. I'm opening up for Kicks.
I love Kicks. We just saw them
They
at
come to the show.
Yeah.
Look at you. Look at you opening up for Kicks. Wait, where is that?
In Manassas, right
Northern
here.
Virginia.
Nice. He's all quiet, but he's opening up for Kicks.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I don't have a whole lot of shows booked out right now. I got one that I'm trying to book in April. And in September, on September 30th, I'm playing up in Pennsylvania, Lidditz, Pennsylvania. I don't know how far that is from you.
Where's that at?
About an hour.
What date is that? Let me write this down. Because we might want to
September
get
30th.
What is it?
September 30th.
September. And what area was that?
Lidditz, Pennsylvania. It's at that new venue, Mickey's Black Box.
Right.
We'll have to look this up. And then maybe we can go. Because I would love to check you out. And then promote you on Two Girls and Their Alcohol.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of shows coming up because, the past 6 months I've really been focusing on practicing and getting ready for these shows that, I really got to focus more on creating more music. So the next few months I'm going to try to create some more stuff so I actually have some more content to do while I'm playing live and promote.
Wait, one more thing. Let's talk about, your band? Like, who's in your band? Let's talk about your band, Gavin.
Well, I mean, there's nobody notable, but it's all, a bunch of young, ambitious, just kids that really, really just want to be rock stars. There's 2 Gavins in the band.
Gavin's still learning. Nobody notable. Your band, you got to treat them like they're rock stars.
Well, she asked, who's in your band? I'm like,
well, we want to know about your band.
So there's 2 Gavins.
They're all superstars, all coming up.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's me. I'm the front man. Then the guitarist, his name is Gavin Hades, who has joined Dad on stage several times and has played in front of 20,000 people. He's got the most stage experience out of all of us, and he's only 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
From Ocean City, Maryland.
Yes.
I saw your video. He's 16?
He's 16.
He's not in the video. The guys in the video aren't the guys. One guitar player's in Gavin's band.
The music video.
Yeah.
So, and then the other guitarist, his name is Logan Blake. He's my high school friend. I've known him, a lot of my childhood, and we've kind of started, the band together. My drummer and my bass player / keyboard player are down in Southern Virginia. And I found my drummer on TikTok because he has 40,000 followers. Tommy Lee and all them, kind of follow him and acknowledge him. And, I linked up with him one day and we knew we had something special, and he found my bassist, who also plays keyboards on favorite songs live. They found each other, and then we all just started the band. And, it ranges from 16 to 23. And I think that's what's missing from a lot of, modern rock bands is the youth and the energy. So if you come out to a show, you're going to see nothing but, even if I'm singing out of pitch, I'm walking off that stage sweating.
You know what we're going to see? Nothing but a good time.
Oh my gosh, I say that all the time.
I had to.
I was thinking it. It's funny you said it.
All right. Well, on that note, we want to say thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us. Very kind. What a cool show you guys have. You're up and good energy, and you got the coolest background of anyone that I've ever done a podcast with, I think.
We can't move our setup either because we don't want to disturb anything. But look, we have Kiss.
Motley Crue.
There's Brett Michaels back there, and Kiss and Kiss again. Kiss is over there.
They should have an award show for podcasts, and you guys should get the best backdrop.
Well, I appreciate that. We can't really move the camera too much, but the other part of the room is
blank. I have more.
No, we have all Motley Crue there. She has so many things signed, like autographed. It's crazy. Such a beautiful room. It really is. And she even has Hollywood Vampires up, autographed.
Def Leppard behind you too.
Def Leppard. That's our standee.
Nice.
Kiss fell down. We got rid of Kiss.
Oh no.
For years, but
Awesome. Thank you guys really for having us, and
of course.
What great
energy. At the same time.
What great energy you guys have. What a cool show. So there you go. You never really said what you were drinking, did you?
In the beginning, it did. It was absolute.
All right.
Fruit.
Right. You got to promote that and get sponsors. Come on.
I know, right? We're a little slow with that. You know, we're too nice. We just, well, Mindy's like the IT, but we are too nice about that. We do this for fun, you know, just.
No, I get it.
We're famous.
Great, though. Thank you guys so much.
We've had a lot of cool guests on, and we're glad that you came on. Gavin, keep on rocking.
Thank you.
Obviously, Pete, you better get some sleep.
Never.
Too
I'm going
much.
to check out your summer tour. We'll see you at M3.
Right.
Gavin, going to M3?
I go every year.
Oh, Gavin's. So then we'll meet you at M3.
Of course.
We're going to bother you with our microphones. We bring our.
That'll be great. You guys make sure you find him. That'll be awesome.
Oh, my God.
I'm
You
everywhere.
have to come on. We're going to go on with our mics. We're going to come up to you. I'm going to hunt you down.
I'm even at the after
Gavin
parties
will
at the
like this. Oh,
hotel.
God.
Awesome.
All right. Pete, thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you.
We appreciate
Thank
your
you,
time.
guys.
And Gavin, keep on rocking, and we'll catch up with you guys soon.
All right. Thank you
Yeah.
guys so much.
Thank
Of course. Bye, guys. Get them candles, everybody.
Bye.
Company.
you. So that was Pete Evick and his son Gavin.
So nice. They're so nice. You know, I just love them. And Gavin's humble too.
Absolute, if you're watching.
Oh.
Wait, I have to turn it this way.
Cheers.
Absolute grapefruit Paloma. So, Absolute, if you'd like to sponsor us, we are two girls and their alcohol.
No, Pete's right. We need to get them to sponsor us. What the hell? Sponsor us. We drink this every week now.
Absolute, you listening? So, thank you for watching.
Two girls and their alcohol. Stay tuned for our next
Stay
guest
tuned. More guests coming up
at 6:30.
6:30.
Peace.